What's up, guys? Welcome back. I'm just shooting this quick video to show people the difference in all trim models of C7 Corvettes. This video is going to be covering the base model. Yes, I know this is not a base model. This is my Grand Sport. I used to have a base model. It was a 2018, but I'm going to tell you how to identify, or if you want a base model, what they come with. And this is going to be very detailed. Starting with the front, if you see a base model Corvette, you will have, this is not the grill that you will have. You will have the grill with the, I call it the retainer. You will see a silver bar go right across the middle. Most people do not like it. They will order like a kit to black that out. It's just a silver bar that goes all the way across. You will also not have these openings. On the base model, that will be blocked off, because what these ducts do is feed air to the brakes. Since the base model is not technically considered as a track car, it's literally just a cruiser, those will be blocked off. On this side, this hole actually goes to the brakes and the intake. So on a base model, you would not have that. You would just have the silver bar across. Also on the base model, each Corvette, no matter which one it is, these vents on the hood is functional. So on a rainy day, you will see steam and stuff coming through. That is actually a functional opening on base model and up. To the engine, you have a 455 horsepower, 6.2 liter LT1 engine. That is crank horsepower. Wheel horsepower, they usually put down between 380 to 400, somewhere around there. Also 455 foot-pounds of torque, which usually dynos around about 390 to 410 torque to the wheels. Also, the base model is a wet sump system, and it's not a dry sump. Since it is not a proclaimed track car, it does not have a dry sump. So if you look under the hood and you see somebody with an oil cap right here, which all of them do have an oil cap, but on the base model, it will be exposed through the cover. If you see that Mobil 1 oil cap right there, that's usually a wet sump system. Ours on a dry sump is what you see over there. Also, going back, the vents on the side on all models are functional. It's just used to have heat escape from the engine bay. Even on the base model, they still work. Also on the base model, you will not get an aero package. You see my side skirts and stuff like that. On the base model, you will not get any side skirts. Now, if you order them, if this was back in the day when the cars first came out, you could specialize order stuff to add that stuff additional. But if you buy it from a lot, you're probably not gonna get that. Also, 2014 only, they had a 6-speed automatic transmission. They later on increased it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. But if you have a manual TR6070 transmission, even in the base model, these vents right here, the vent on the driver's side will work. The one on the passenger side is blocked off. That's because the manual transmission has a trans cooler. The autos did not get it in the base model, but air goes in through here and exits out of here. It's a cooler back here for the trans cooler. So on the other side, if you got an automatic, neither one of them are open. Manual transmission, the driver's side is open. Also, wheel spec. On the base model, you get 18 by 8.5s in the front and 19 by 10s in the back. On the base model. Also, you get the standard all-season tires. Hold on, I have a loud car coming down the road, but on the base model, you get an 18 by 8.5 in the front, 19 by 10 in the back with the all-season tires. Now, again, if you bought this when it was brand new, you can option out for the Sport Cup 2s, but I don't know why you do that. But anyway, the base model also has your standard monotube suspension. It does not have mag ride. It has your standard monotube suspension, and they do all come with Brembo brakes. But as you can see, this is on my Grand Sport. We have 6-piston front brakes, 4-piston rear brakes. On the base model, they are 4 pistons up front, 4 pistons in the back. Also, the rotors, you see how mine are steel and slotted. On the base model, you would not have slotted rotors, and the rotor size is a 12 by 3, I believe, 12 by 3 or 12 by 6. I think it's 12 by 6 if I'm not mistaken. Z51s and up, 13 by 6. But the base model is a 12-inch rotor with a 4-piston caliper. What else we got? Of course, you would notice that you will not get the side duct. Now, they do have aftermarket side ducts from like ACS Composites that you can drill that in, add like a wide body flare to the base model that feeds air to your rear brakes. But the base model will not have that. Also, this spoiler on the base model, you would not get one. It is just a slope back spoiler. It has no rear spoiler on the base models. Again, you can option that. Back in the day, if you bought one and ordered one, you can have it put on. You can always add that stuff. But from the factory, you do not get a rear spoiler. The tail lights are also red. Mine are supposed to be red too, since this is Grand Sport, but I option for the Z06 tail lights. And I found this out, that 2014, that the rear axles, when they first came out, the rear axles on the base model are different from 2015 and up. So if you got a base model of 2014, the axles are a little weaker. 2015, they beefed them up, but the rear axles are different. And some of them, if you optioned it up, you can get the MPP exhaust, but most of them are just standard flow through exhaust. And I believe that's everything I can really come up with on the exterior of the car. If we open it up on the inside, the only thing that I can say about the inside, the interior packages are all the same. It doesn't matter. That depends on which trim level you get. If you get a 1LT, 2LT, 3LT. But the biggest interior difference from the base model to any other model is the mode selector. Now, on the mode selector on a base model, the only thing it does is adjust throttle response, stiffens up the steering wheel in some modes, and what else was that? The two main things was steering wheel stiffness and throttle response, because on wet mode, if you turn it to wet, it's gonna decrease the acceleration of the car so you don't spin out, stuff like that, because the base model does not have a ELSD, the rear diff and stuff for that, so it can't really do much with that. But it can adjust the throttle and stuff so you don't spin out or nothing. And basically the wheel stiffness, it may be a little bit up, but everything else in the interior is pretty much just optioned out. But that's all you need to know. If you ever see a base model or want or have a base model and wondering what the features are and the differences are, that's all it is. I will be covering the Z51, the Grand Sport, the ZR1, and the and the Z06. But that's just the features of a standard C7. Oh, lastly, I forgot the torque tube. Base models use a steel torque tube because the car is not considered as a track car, so they didn't really care about saving weight right there, because all of the other ones are made out of carbon fiber torque tube housing. So the base model got a steel torque tube housing. And sorry, but I had to throw that in there.